So I was in the market looking for a cheap replacement pair of earbuds to replace a pair I recently lost, and my girlfriend actually recently lost them, and I came across these guys on Amazon. I couldn't believe how many reviews they had, over 24,000 actually, with an average overall rating of 4.4 stars, which is really high for something with so many reviews, especially for something as subjective as headphones. When you find a product on Amazon that has a rating of 4.5 stars or higher with at least 50 reviews, it's generally something that you'll be really happy with, or at least that's been my experience anyway. So I thought, what the heck, let me pick up a pair of these and give them a try out, give them a review. And I will start by saying that the worst things I have to say about these headphones are that the packaging on them is almost impossible to open without a pair of scissors or pliers. And the plastic is actually razor sharp. Very frustrating when companies use packaging like this. But in any event, let's go ahead and take a closer look at these earbuds. So the shape of these earbuds is really nice and allows them to fit nice and snug in my ears. And they're really quick and easy to insert. What I mean by that is that the way that each earbud is uniquely shaped, you can tell right away which side goes in what ear when you pick them up without having to take a look at the markings on them. And I really like that. They also stay in your ears very well, which make them good for working out with. It takes a decent tug to be able to yank them out of your ears. And they stayed in very well for me when I was running, jumping rope, or even just violently shaking my head. The Panasonic earbuds also come in a bunch of different color options as well, so you can match them to your device or your personal taste. The cord length on them is 3.6 feet, which for a point of reference is the same exact length of Apple earbuds, and to me isn't too long or too short. However, there was one small issue I had with them, which was that the cord is super thin and it picks up a lot of microphonics. If you don't know what that is, it's the thumping noises that headphone cables can pick up when the cable is hit or moving around on your body. And at moderate volume levels or when sitting still or lying down, it's a non-issue. But while running or with moving around with no audio playing, I noticed it and you can definitely hear it. It's not a huge deal to me, but I thought it was worth mentioning, because you can eliminate this effect by wrapping the cable around the top of your ears and or going underneath your shirt if you plan on running with them, since that's kind of when the cable's bouncing around the most. And after doing that, you don't notice it anymore. Now let's talk a little bit about their sound quality. So for less than the price of a Happy Meal, I really didn't expect much from these in terms of sound, but once I gave them a listen, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I mean, obviously for $6 you aren't going to be blown away by these, and you should tame your expectations somewhat. They're not going to sound like $1,000 in-ear reference studio monitors, but honestly they really do sound good, and that's not just for earbuds under $10 either. I could have easily spent 5 times as much for them and still felt like I got a good value. In fact, they definitely sound better than the earbuds that come with Apple products, and those cost $29.99 to replace. At full volume on my iPhone, they only barely started to distort, and it wasn't until like the final 2 clicks of volume level where I was able to discern any distortion, and even then it was pretty slight. But I could only listen to them at that high of a volume level for a few seconds before it starting hurting my ears anyway, so I had to turn them back down pretty quick. But the point is that you can play these really loud before you'll ever really hear any distortion, because your ears will definitely start hurting well before you reach that high volume level. The Panasonics come with 3 different size rubber tips, and the sound isolation once you select the proper size is really good, although not completely quiet. Extended listening with them didn't produce any listening fatigue and didn't hurt my ears at all, and honestly the sound quality you get from them is just really great for $6. If they end up sounding slightly too thin to you, thin meaning lack of bass response, just make sure you're using the correct size tip and that they're seated properly in your ear. You do this by pulling up the top corner of your ear and making sure the earbud is inserted well into your ear canal. I totally expected them to be all crackly and provide almost no detail, but that wasn't the case at all. After listening to them for a few hours, I remembered I had an extra pair of Comply foam tips lying around from when I mistakenly ordered 2 packs a while back, so I decided to replace the rubber tips with the foam tips, and it really made a huge difference. Not only do the foam tips give a much better sound isolation, but it drastically increased the bass response. I definitely recommend picking up some if you want to bump the quality of the Panasonics up and warm the sound up a good bit. It will of course add to the overall cost by another 10 or 11 bucks, but I think it's well worth it for the benefit you gain. So as a super cheap earbud replacement, I don't think you can do much better than the Panasonics. They make a perfect pair for traveling because they block out sound, especially when combined with the Complies, and if you lose them, damage them, or if they get stolen, it's not a huge deal because they're just so cheap. I also found they're good for working out because they don't easily fall out of your ears, and you don't worry about sweat getting into a $6 pair of headphones like you might if you spend $100 or more on a high quality pair, or really high quality pair. I don't hesitate recommending these at all if you want a good sounding pair of earbuds and don't really want to spend a lot of money. They're cheap, they sound great, they stay in your ears well, and really, how can 24,000 people be wrong? But if you guys wouldn't mind taking a quick second to give a thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. And otherwise, thanks a lot for watching, and you guys take care.